Welcome to the Clara Monroe Series. This is Book 1, Echoes of the Past. Now, Chapter 4, Exposure. Clara did not open the note at the scene. She let evidence log it, photograph it, seal it. Halpern wanted to read it immediately. She could see the question building behind his eyes. But she shook her head once, small and final. Chain of custody, she said. It wasn't about procedure. It was about control. Back at the precinct, the envelope was placed on the stainless table in Interview 3. Neutral space, no windows. Clara stood at the far end of the table while the tech cut the seal. The folded cream cardstock was removed carefully and placed flat under the camera. 3 black strokes on the outside. The same thickness as the fragment found in the ward study. Same weight, same faint raised border along the edge. Clara felt the pattern forming. The tech unfolded it. Inside, a single sentence in heavy black marker. You missed one. No signature, no flourish, just that. Halpern exhaled slowly. Missed one what? Clara didn't answer. Her mind moved quickly through the day. The bookshelf, the scratch marks, the torn fragment, the window frame, the patio. She had cataloged the obvious, but obvious was a performance. You missed one. Not, you will miss one. Not you're missing something. Past tense, statement, not threat. Clara turned to the tech. Any prints? Nothing visible. We'll process it, he said. Fiber? She asked. Not yet. Clara nodded. Bag it separate from the fragment, she added. I want comparative analysis on the stock. Same supplier if possible. The tech nodded and left with the evidence. Halpern watched her. You think there's another card in that house? He asked. Clara met his gaze. I think someone wants me to go back, she said. They went back. This time without announcement. No flashing lights. No visible presence. Just Clara and Halpern. The ward house felt smaller now, less composed, like it had already started decaying under attention. Daniel was not home. His lawyer had taken him to his sister's house, according to a uniform at the door. Clara stepped inside the study again. Empty desk, empty chair space, empty shelf gap. You missed one, Halpern muttered under his breath. Clara stood in the center of the room and did nothing for a full 30 seconds. She let her eyes defocus. People looked for what they expected. She tried not to expect. The bookshelf drew attention first. It had before. It was too deliberate. She crouched and ran her gaze along the bottom shelf. Nothing. She stood and examined the top shelf instead. Dust lay evenly across the top edge of the books, except for a faint disturbance above the missing space. Not behind, above. Clara pulled a chair from the hallway and climbed carefully. She leaned over the top shelf. There, tucked flat against the wall above the books, nearly invisible from below. Another card, cream stock. Thin edge visible only if you changed angle. She didn't touch it. She let herself look at it first. You missed one, she said quietly. Halpern stepped closer. You see something? Yes. He called in a tech. Clara stayed on the chair while they documented it. The card was carefully removed. 3 black strokes on the outside. It was becoming ritual. The card was opened under camera. Inside, you're getting slower. Halpern swore under his breath. Clara stepped down from the chair. She didn't react outwardly. But inside, something cold settled. Slower. That implied comparison. Before. He was measuring her against something she had once been. Okay, Halpern said carefully once the tech left. Monroe, this isn't just the wards. No, Clara said. You want to tell me how it is you? Clara walked to the window instead of answering. She looked at the backyard, the fence line, the trees beyond. "You ever get the feeling," she said quietly, "that someone is less interested in killing than in observing what killing does?" Halpern frowned. "That's not an answer." "It is," she said. She turned back to the room. The geometry of the scene felt different now. Not just a murder, a stage. Each card placed to test her perception. Each gap designed to draw her in. She scanned the ceiling, the corners, the vents, the light fixture, and then she saw it. A tiny dark dot near the smoke detector. Too round, too intentional. Clara felt the shift again. "There," she said. Halpern followed her gaze. "You've got to be kidding me." They called it in. The ladder came. The smoke detector was removed carefully. Behind it, embedded in the casing, a micro camera, battery-powered, no live transmission device attached, recording internally. Halpern's face went pale. "That's illegal on about 12 levels," he muttered. Clara didn't speak. She stared at the camera as it was bagged, the angle. From there, it would have captured the desk perfectly. The bowl, Evelyn's hand, the writing, and anyone standing near her, including the killer, but only if the device was still active. "Get that to digital immediately," Clara said. "I want the footage." Halpern nodded and stepped aside to make the call. Clara stayed in the center of the study. "You're getting slower." It wasn't just taunting. It was diagnostic. He was evaluating her response time, her perception, her restraint. She let her eyes travel to the bookshelf again. The missing book, the dust outlines. "What book was here?" she murmured. Halpern looked up from his phone. "We're still cataloging titles." "Don't catalog," Clara said. "Photograph and cross-reference purchase records, credit cards, Amazon history, library checkouts. I want to know what's absent." Halpern nodded. "And Clara," he added carefully, "this person knows your pace." She didn't answer, because he was right. Back at the precinct, digital called within the hour. "We've got footage," the analyst said, "from the micro camera." Clara closed her office door before he continued. "How much?" she asked. 4 hours before the battery died. It shuts off at 2:23 a.m. Clara's pulse ticked once. "Show me." The video loaded on her screen. The angle was high, wide enough to capture the desk and part of the room. At 12:48 a.m., Evelyn sat down. She began writing. Clara watched her own case unfold without her. Evelyn wrote slowly at first, then faster. Then she stopped. At 1:07 a.m., the study door opened. A figure entered, male, tall, face obscured by the angle and a dark hood. He moved without hurry. Evelyn did not stand. She did not scream. She looked up at him like she recognized him. He stepped beside her, set something on the desk. A bowl. Clara felt her jaw tighten. At 1:12 a.m., he leaned close. Spoke. No audio. Evelyn's shoulders trembled once. Then she nodded. At 1:14 a.m., he produced something from his pocket. Clara watched without blinking. The cut was quick, efficient, controlled. He held her upright until the movement stopped. Then he positioned the bowl. He adjusted her hand on the notebook, adjusted it, as if arranging a photograph. At 1:21 a.m., he stepped back, looked at the scene, still observing. Then he turned slightly toward the camera, just enough. The hood shifted. For a fraction of a second, the lower half of his face was visible. Clara felt something inside her go completely still. Not because she recognized him fully, but because she recognized the expression. Not rage, not frenzy. Calm, measured interest. He tilted his head slightly, the same tilt she thought she'd seen in the rearview mirror. Then he reached up, removed the smoke detector. The image jolted, tilted, darkened. At 2:23 a.m., the battery died. Clara sat back slowly. Halpern stood in the doorway, pale. "That's him," he said unnecessarily. Clara didn't answer. She rewound to the moment before the cut, zoomed in on Evelyn's face. She wasn't sedated yet. Her eyes were lucid, fearful, but not surprised. She knew him. Clara's phone, still powered off, lay in her desk drawer. She could feel its weight without touching it. "You missed one. You're getting slower." She stared at the screen, then at the still image of the hooded man. And for the first time since this began, she allowed the question she had kept contained to form fully. What if he wasn't measuring her performance on this case? What if he was measuring how long it would take her to remember him? Clara reached for her drawer, paused, then closed it again without turning the phone on. Outside her office, the precinct hummed with ordinary urgency. Inside, the case had shifted. It was no longer about whether she was being watched. It was about how long she had been, and whether she had already forgotten something she should have seen. You've just listened to Chapter 4 of Echoes of the Past. The investigation continues in Chapter 5.